Hi guys, OhSheReads here and welcome back to OhSheReads, and today's video is going to be kind of a catch-up video. I'll be talking about books a little bit later on, but I just wanted to say hey and catch you guys up on what's been going on in my life and yeah, just kind of talk to you guys. We haven't had one of these chatty videos in a little while, and I made a promise to myself and to you guys that I'm going to be a lot more consistent with my videos. I've had this desire to film, but it's so easy to push it onto the back burner. Life gets so busy, and it doesn't mean I'm not reading, it doesn't mean I'm not talking about books, it doesn't mean that I'm not sharing book recommendations with people in my real life, but it just doesn't make it onto YouTube and onto you guys. And that's the part that I really miss. I miss this online community, even though, you know, my part in it is very small, but it's still very rewarding. And it's always been a hobby that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and I do admit that I have slacked off a lot on my channel and in communicating with you guys. I see all the comments and I'm going to be working on responding a lot faster and just keeping that dialogue going with you guys more consistently. And step one is just being more consistent with my videos. So I'm going to announce it here, and I'm going to count on you all to keep me accountable. I will be posting 3 videos a week for the next month or so up until Christmas, and I'm gonna keep it going and see how I do. So I will be posting 3 videos next week. It is currently December, whoa, jumping ahead a whole month. It is currently November 11th right now. So the week of the 13th, which is in just a few days, like 48 hours, there will be 3 videos going up that week, and then the subsequent weeks, I suppose, I will be posting 3 videos for you all. So if you have any ideas for videos, please put them in the comments. If there's anything specifically you would like to see or any topics you would like me to cover, definitely comment that down below, because I need all the ideas I can get if I'm going to be doing 3 videos a week for the next month. So just some catching up. If you're like me and you have been pretty much watching people on YouTube react to Taylor Swift's new album Reputation because no one else in your life gives a damn, then yay! We're kindred spirits. That's one of the things that I've been doing for the past 48 hours. None of my real life friends are like huge Taylor Swift fans, so they're just kind of like, okay girl, yay. Good for you, she came out with a new album, that's cool. I've been torturing one of my really good friends at work by playing the album 24/7. I've been torturing my other coworkers and my boss, and I've been just obsessed. And so if you're like me, share down in the comments what are your favorite songs from the album. My favorite tracks, I'm pulling it up on my phone right now, are, honestly, I love all the songs. And even though when the singles first came out, I wasn't really feeling them, to be honest with you, the only single I really felt was the one that she most recently put out before the album dropped, which was Call It What You Want, which is very reminiscent of an old Taylor Swift song, you know, from like Red or Speak Now, even 1989, you know. So my favorite tracks on the album are track number 3, I Did Something Bad. Let's see, track number 9, Getaway Car, track number 10, King of My Heart, and then my absolutely favorite song on the album, track number 11, Dancing With Our Hands Tied, and finally rounding out my top 5 is Call It What You Want. So those are my top 5 favorite songs. I also really enjoyed Endgame, even though there was a lot of controversy around it with all the rapping, and you know, obviously she's not a rapper, guys, like it's her spin on, you know, that kind of urban sound. Like, it's Taylor Swift. Like, we're not expecting her to be a lyrical rap genius. I mean, I thought it was decent. I enjoyed Ed Sheeran's part in it. I didn't really think Future was necessary, personally. So, awkward. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then I actually really enjoyed the singles now. I remember when she dropped Look What You Made Me Do, I hated it. But in the context of the whole album, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy Ready For It. I think it's a great opener to the album. And even Gorgeous, which when I first heard it, I was kind of like, eh. But then when I watched the behind the scenes of the making of the song, like her writing process, I really fell in love with the song, and I hope that she comes out with an acoustic version. And it would make my life if she came out with an acoustic album version of all of these songs, because that's what I enjoy most about her, is her songwriting, and singer-songwriters are my favorite type of artists, and I think that's why I fell in love with her when I was younger, was just to find another artist that really, you know, exemplifies true artistry when it comes to songwriting. And, you know, just her and her little guitar, I really enjoyed that, and that's why I've remained a fan for all these years, to be honest. But yeah, so there's my little rambling about T Swift. Reputation is a great album. I'm falling in love with it. Been listening to it nonstop, and yeah, I really love it. If you're not a Taylor Swift fan, what have you guys been listening to music-wise lately? What else have I been listening to? I've been listening to Pink's new album, which is excellent. A lot of artists that I love from, you know, my childhood have dropped albums recently. Kelly Clarkson just dropped a new album, which I love. I recommend to you guys. Definitely go check it out. It's very soulful. It's giving me like Tina Turner, you know, like a dab of Whitney Houston, more Aretha Franklin type vibes. So I really enjoyed that album as well. So I've been listening to a lot of new music this month. Another huge thing I've been doing this month is Nanowrimo. And, you know, I've never really done daily Nanowrimo vlogs since I first started my channel. I just haven't had the time. And I have been struggling with Nanowrimo this year, but I haven't been like freaking out about the struggle, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just kind of taking it as it comes. I have the next, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days off of my job. So I'm going to be focused on writing. And that's another thing, I haven't been writing every day, which is crazy. Like, usually during NaNoWriMo, I'm very disciplined and I'm very good about writing daily and updating my word count and really keeping up on the NaNoWriMo site and updating that daily. And I will put my link down below. But if you go check out the NaNoWriMo site, all it shows is that I wrote 18,000 words in like 1 day, like 3 days ago, which is actually false documentation, which I feel really bad. That's false data, because those 18,000 words were written over a period. Is it even 18,000? Isn't it like 16,000 something? I honestly don't even remember my word count, which is crazy to me. But the words count that I'm at currently on the NaNoWriMo site was accumulated over a series of about 2 to 3 days. And I just have been so bad about updating daily on the site. It's terrible. Like, in previous years, I've been so good about going to the site every single day and like writing every day and putting how many words I wrote down, you know, down that day, and updating the site and keeping my records. And that has been part of my motivation to write daily. That whole, you know, you gotta write because you gotta put in your word count at the end of the day and update it. And I would hate to go and see the little graph and see the day that I'm on and see like 0 words. So that would be like my motivation. But this year, I don't know, I'm just in a different headspace. I have just decided not to stress out about writing. And usually NaNoWriMo gives me so much anxiety. And with the project that I'm working on that will be published next year, I'm self-publishing. I will put a link to the video where I talk about that right now. But I will be self-publishing a book next year. More information on that to come in the coming months. And so I've been working on that project extensively. So NaNoWriMo is not a priority. Like, I don't want to say it's not important, because I have a really cool story idea I have been fleshing out. But it's just not something that I'm gonna stress about, you know? It's like, I'll write when I write, and I'll definitely do my best to get to 50,000 words, because I've never failed NaNoWriMo since I've started. Like, every year I've chosen to participate, I've never failed, and I definitely don't want to start in 2017. So I'm just choosing not to stress about it, and I have the next 4 days to catch up and to write daily. So that's my NaNoWriMo update. For those of you that are participating, how is it going for you all? Is it easy? Is it hard? Are you stuck? How is it coming? Are you writing every day? And most importantly, are you having fun with it? You know, what stories are you writing? Fiction, nonfiction? Let me know in the comments. I'd be so interested to know. And if you want to go follow me on the site and friend me, I will add and friend you back. Wish you tons of luck this month on your writing. So there's that. Another thing to catch you up on is, if you don't follow me on social media, then you have no idea, but I will put the link to my Instagram below. It's always in the description box, the link to my Instagram, my Snapchat, and my Goodreads. So if you want to follow me on social media and know what I'm doing when you don't see me on YouTube, I'm very active on Instagram, not so much on Snapchat. I and not so much on Goodreads. I'm really bad about updating what I'm reading on Goodreads. I tend to do it like at the end of the year, at the last minute. But I'm very active on Instagram. But I went to New York in October. I left on the 7th, I believe. I was gone the 7th through the 11th. It was a great trip. I went to visit my best friend who actually lives in New Jersey, but she lives very close to the city. You can actually see a beautiful, beautiful like view of New York City from her apartment. It looks gorgeous. She lives right by the water. So as many of you know, I lived in New York for many years, from 2005 until 2013. I went to school, went to NYU, and then after school I kind of stayed in the city, hung out, and then in 2013 I moved back. I'm currently living in North Carolina. I moved back to work on my writing, and just for a change, I was coming off of a really bad breakup, you know, as we girls do, and I was completely heartbroken and shattered, and I just wanted to get out of the city and focus on my writing at the same time. I was a little lost, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, didn't really know what was going on. If you want me to make a full video about that, I will. I just don't want this video to be too long. So definitely thumbs up this video if you want to know more about that kind of stuff. But yeah, I went to visit and I hadn't been back since, and it was crazy. This last few years I have been so fixated on moving back and like wanting so badly to move back to the city, and I still do. So if any of you know anyone that is looking for a roommate in New York, please let me know. I really want to live in the Bronx. I've lived in Brooklyn and I've lived in Harlem, and I'm okay with any of those locations. So if any of you guys watching are from the city or from any of those areas and you know someone that is looking for a roommate, I'm looking to sublet, so definitely let me know. I want you guys to follow me along my journey on moving back. It's something I'm very excited about, and I've been trying to do for the last 2.5 to 3 years, ever since I moved away. New York is just home. So yes, I am moving back to New York City. It's very exciting, and it's something that is definitely one of my big goals for 2018. And I will talk way more about my reasons for moving and you know, job situation and all that later. But I just wanted to put it out here on YouTube. So I know a lot of you guys live all over. So if any of you watching, my beautiful precious subscribers, live in New York City and have a connect and a hookup with housing, please send me a message on here, or I would actually prefer for you to email me. I will leave my email in the description box so that we can kind of talk about that. I would appreciate it so much. So yeah, let's see, what else can we catch up on? Oh, so much has happened. Just life, you know, and just the changes, and in terms of like my writing, I have just taken on an attitude of trusting myself more. I usually stress out so much, like I said, behind Nanowrimo, and like I said, I'm working on this project for publication next year, and usually that would have me so stressed and literally having anxiety and panic attacks every day. But things have been going so well. Keep your fingers crossed for me, knock on wood. I don't know, pet an eagle, whatever you need to do to keep me on this path, you guys, you know. And I want to definitely make a video more about that. And as things become more defined and I start to really lock down like different vendors for different things with my book, I want to make videos about that. So if any of you guys are interested in self-publishing, then you can watch my videos. I have been watching a ton of videos on YouTube about self-publishing, so I will be more than happy to add to the information that's out there with my own personal experience. Alright, so now on to the reading portion of this video. I have been doing a lot of reading, contrary to what y'all might believe, even though I haven't really been on YouTube talking about it. And I have been reading primarily on my Kindle, which, I mean, it's par for course with me. I am a night reader. I really enjoy reading right before I go to sleep. And there's something about reading on my Kindle, you know, it's illuminated, it has a backlight, and I turn all my lights off because, you know, I'm obviously trying to go to sleep, and it's so soothing. Like, I've done it for years now, and I can't imagine falling asleep, just falling asleep, unless I'm really exhausted and I just pass out. Always have to read myself to sleep. And when I wake up in the mornings, if I don't have to like jump right up and go to work or run an errand or write or anything, like if I just have a free day to just relax and sleep in, I always wake up every day at 6. I can't help it, it's just my body's clock. If I'm really tired, I'll sleep until 8, sleep in. But I like to get up, and if I don't get on Instagram, which, Instagram, you guys, waste my time 2005 14, 15, 16, 17, like it's terrible. But if I'm not on Instagram for like 2 hours scrolling through and trying not to compare my life to Instagram models and bloggers and what have yous, I read. So that's how I get my reading done. You know, a lot of you are like, how do you read so many books a year? Like, where do you find the time? In the mornings when I wake up, like I spend about 2 to 3 hours just laying in bed. You think about it, if I wake up at 6 a.m. and I don't actually physically get out of bed until 10 a.m. think about all those hours, 6 to 7, 8, 9, that's 4 hours of reading that I get in, you know? And for me, I'm a pretty quick reader. That's pretty much a book, and I've already read a book that day. Or if I read myself to sleep, let's say I get in bed at 10, but I don't actually fall asleep till around 12, maybe in some days 2 a.m. if I don't have to get up early the next day, early like for work, you know, like actually physically get out of bed, then think about that. That's 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., 12, 1, 2, that's potentially 2 to 4 hours of reading depending on whether I go to sleep at midnight or 2 a.m. So that's how I get my reading in every single day. Some of you guys ask me that, like, how do you read so much? Like, that's how I read so much. Those are my tips and tricks. Also, my Kindle is great because it's slim and it carries so many books on it. So I put it in my purse and I bring it with me wherever I go. So when I go to work and there's some downtime or on my break, I read. If I take Uber everywhere now, I'm in my Uber, I can get some reading in. If, let's say, I'm somewhere at the grocery store and it's a really long line, or any store with a long line, I can get my reading in. Or just, you know, so many ways and little tips and tricks to find the time to get your reading in during the day. And I know a lot of you guys don't have a Kindle, or like, what's the other one? An iPad, or there's another one. Doesn't Barnes or Nook, you know, you don't have an e-reader to carry around with you, and you don't want to carry a book because it's so heavy. Smartphones are so huge these days. You can just download the Kindle app or the Nook app and download books, and you can read on the go on your phone. I just don't like to do it because of the glare. I prefer my e-reader. For those of you who just are just hardcore, like old school, like I gotta feel those pages, I gotta feel the paper, then you just gotta, you know, carry your book around with you all day. They have these like book sleeves that you can purchase. If I find a link to one, I'll definitely link it down below. But people make these like book sleeve cover things so you can put your book in. So that's another thing. People don't want to get their books dirty. Like if you're like me and you love your books and you're a book collector, you don't want to ruin your books and you don't want them to get dirty or stained, especially the beautiful hardbacks. You can take your hardback beautiful cover off instead of actually then potentially ruining the actual hardback, many of which are beautiful in themselves. You can put your book into these sleeves. I think you can get some on Etsy too. I would definitely link this stuff down below, you guys. You can put your book into the sleeve and your book is now protected, and you can just carry your book around with you. So these are just some tips and tricks and how I get my reading in and what I do on a daily basis. If you guys have any further questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. Or if you have any tips and tricks in how you read and how you get your reading in, and make sure you stay on top of that, leave stuff in the comments for each other and you can start a dialogue with each other and keep it going. Alright, and that is that for this video. I will wrap things up right here, and I definitely enjoyed chatting with you all and catching up. I look forward to any suggestions that I can get housing wise for my New York move. Definitely email me and follow me on Instagram and Snapchat so that we can connect a little bit more outside of this YouTube life. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. Bye.